We had a governing council meeting that was the last of 2024, and which really led us to acknowledge not yet the victory against inflation, not yet mission accomplished, but certainly it led us to acknowledge that inflation was really on track in terms of reaching our 2% target in the medium term. And, that gave us a level of confidence to actually decide a cut and to decide the appropriate cut, which is, in our view, 25 basis points. That proposal was agreed by all members of the Governing Council. There were some discussions with some proposals to consider possibly 50 basis points, but the overall agreement to which everybody rallied was that 25 basis points was actually the right decision. And I think it was predicated on three key elements. The first element is that inflation in our projections has converged towards 2% for 6 projections exercises in a row. So you probably have forgotten, as I wish I had, the days when everybody was considering that maybe we would slip into 26 and we would not reach 2% in 25. Well, as I said, 6 times in a row, our projections are telling us that we will be at 2% target in the course of 25. And if anything, it has moved a little bit forward in the course of 25. But suffice to say that in 25, we shall be at 2%. And that is, clearly reflected in the projections that we have. I think the second element is that past shocks have pushed underlying inflation down. If I look, for instance, at wages, if I look at profits, and you remember the discussion that we had many times about the buffer that profits could exercise to absorb additional labour cost. Well, we are actually seeing that reality unfolding, and the projection for compensation, whether we look at the wage tracker, whether we look at compensation per employee, whether we look at the vacancy ratio, all of that is pointing in the direction of wages gradually, in the course of 25, reaching a percentage increase that is compatible with our 2% target. And in terms of profits, we are also observing the same movement of profits having declined and being in a position to absorb some of these labour costs. Productivity, we are beginning to see also a little bit more promising numbers. So those 3 components, wages, profit, productivity, also heading in the right direction. And I think the third element that we took into consideration and that led us to this decision is that, risk to inflation is not two-sided, clearly. And that led us to, number one, making the decision that we've made, but also removing the reference to restrictiveness that you have mentioned. And by that, I'm also addressing your second question by the same token. But having said all that, we still have service inflation, which is running high. And if we look in particular at domestic inflation, we are still at 4.2%. And service inflation has hedged down a little bit from 4 to 3.9, but it is still resistant, and we would really want to see a change in the composition of inflation to feel totally confident that we are really almost at target. Thank you.